Hello again, everyone. Todd Struch, the Horror Nerd, here at Garden State Comic Fest at the Menon Arena in Morristown, New Jersey. And I have the distinct pleasure of standing here with the lovely Sharon Rose. How are you, Sharon?
I'm great.
Good. Are you having a good time at the convention?
I am. I love this con. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
It is. It is a great time. So tell us a little bit about your costume. Who are you cosplaying as today?
I am cosplaying as Vidya. She is one of the Disney fairies. I made my bodice out of EVA foam, and then my friend Mirabella Took Creations created these lovely wings.
I have, like you said, what this is, I have no idea what that means.
So a lot of cosplayers obviously use materials to sew things, but some of us like to fabricate out of something called EVA foam. It's a closed cell foam that you can manipulate with heat. It's used a lot in the props and movie industry. You can create all kinds of things with it, and you can heat form it, and it's lightweight and durable. It's really great. You can paint it. It's really fun.
Well, it looks really cool. This is a really nice looking costume.
Thank you. I kind of wanted it to look like I was a small fairy, and so I made this out of a leaf, which is why I chose a kind of an unexpected material instead of just fabric for this. Yeah.
Very cool. What got you started in cosplay? What sparked your interest in it?
Oh gosh, that's a really good question. So I've been an artist my whole life. I was the kid who was doodling in the margins of my notebook paper in class when I should have been paying attention. So I've always been drawing. I've always been painting. And there was a time in my life after I had graduated from college and was working that I realized I didn't really have creativity in my life like I once did. And I was going through hearing the news of a health condition that was kind of affecting my body weight and my self-confidence. So I started looking to all these amazing costumed characters that I would see at Comic-Cons, thinking, my goodness, they're so innovative, they're so amazing. I wish I could do something like that. And then it hit me like, well, I bet I could do something like that. I'm an artist. I love to draw and paint, so why don't I just try? So I really poured my heart into Captain America. Was one of my first costumes.
I remember.
Yes, and I love the strength of Captain America. So it was really cathartic to be painting again, to be learning new artistic techniques again, and to just kind of transform my whole self with makeup and wigs. And so that's really what started it, was that journey of I want to not just get back into creativity, but like heal myself, heal my mindset, heal my inner artist soul, and it really has done that for me. Cosplay has really helped change my whole life. It's been great.
That is fantastic. It's a very positive message. I like that.
Yeah, I feel like the biggest message I have for anybody is that anybody can cosplay. So cosplay really is for anyone and everyone. I meet doctors and lawyers, kids, I mean grandmothers, anybody can cosplay any character, any size, shape, interest, horror, sci-fi, fairy tales, whatever. You can be anybody. You can turn into whoever you want for the day and have a lot of fun with other geeks who like to do the same thing.
Exactly. Like we get to wave our nerd flag proudly.
Really proudly. It's true.
I know I was looking at through your prints earlier, and there's such a wide variety of characters that you've done. Do you have a favorite type of character or genre you like?
I get asked this like a lot. It's so hard to choose one favorite. I think as an artist, I'm drawn to designs that are intricate and challenge me. A lot of the characters that I do are my own kind of personal design of a beloved iconic character. So for example, my Maleficent, I kind of imagined what if the animated version was brought to life, but not necessarily like the Angelina Jolie live action, but with the colors from the original animated. So I did a lot of greens and purples. I love to create my own designs. I really love doing that. And I like characters that are either really apple pie good through and through like Captain America, or mischievous and sassy and villainous like Loki or Maleficent. So it's kind of one extreme or the other, sort of what I'm drawing.
Villains are always more fun.
Villains are great. I love I do a lot of comic book characters, and I do some like fantasy and fairy tale characters. Those seem to be what I gravitate toward.
Very cool. What are some of the challenges you experience as a cosplayer?
Oh gosh, that's a really good question. So I think one challenge I have experienced is I am a plus size cosplayer, and when I first started this, I was dealing with kind of learning a new body confidence, and so cosplay was bringing me so much joy in that. And I think I reached this really weird juxtaposition when some of my work started to be more well followed or well known, and then I started getting some online comments and things of people who felt like because I'm plus size, I shouldn't be cosplaying as a character that is a smaller, more athletic build, and that it's hard. It's one thing if someone wants to kind of like criticize my artwork, but it's another thing if someone criticizes me and my body. And so I mention this pretty openly because when I first started, that was really hard. That was a big challenge for me to overcome, not letting the negative weight of words of others steal my joy in me choosing to make and create and wear things. So now, like, do those words hurt? I think they always will, but I don't allow them to affect me because at the end of the day, I made something really cool and I got to do it with my friends.
Right.
It's really great. And I think I rock these costumes. I really feel like I do become Captain America or Loki or what have you. So I say this pretty openly because I just don't want any other cosplayer to ever feel that they aren't valid in cosplaying whomever they choose. And they can overcome that challenge of negative criticism from others.
Good for you. Again, that's a very positive message. Having a lot of friends in the cosplay community and having a lot of fun myself with it, talking to people like you, it does make me sad that I do hear that a lot. Like some of the negativity, even within the community itself, shocks me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you all found something you can love to do, and someone has to ruin it. But it sounds like you really have gotten past that, and that's great.
Yeah, and it helps to have a really good support structure of people surround yourself with people who encourage you and who find joy in you finding joy. And so that's really important in life. And you were right. I think in any community, fandoms or even outside of that, you're going to have some bad apples in the bunch who maybe struggle with seeing others happy if they themselves are trying to heal from something and they themselves aren't happy with something about themselves. But at the end of the day, we really should all work to have grace, show compassion, and try to elevate one another. And I always try to encourage people. I get some people come up to my booth and say, I wish I could make something that good, or I wish I could do something like that. And I always tell them you can. And you're allowed to just buy it. You're allowed to support another artist and commission someone else to make it for you. You're allowed to thrift store it. You're allowed to make it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing I make is perfect the first time around. And what I'm making now is better than what I was making 5 years ago. But I'm still proud of what I made 5 years ago because I learned from it. And I think everyone should embrace that we're all on a journey. Don't ever say, I can't do it. If it's something you really want to do, you can find a way.
That is great. So on that note, that is great positivity. So I can't do any better than that. So I'm just going to end it. The last thing I'm going to ask is just tell everybody how they can follow you along and where they can find you on social media and such.
You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, probably some other platforms I'm forgetting, but everywhere you look, if you just look up Sharon Rose Cosplay, you'll be able to find me.
Fantastic. Sharon, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me. I truly appreciate it. I love following you and all your cosplays, and have a great rest of the weekend here at Garden State Comic Fest at Menon Arena in Morristown, New Jersey, and we will see all of you in the next interview.